Hey everyone, welcome to Science-Based Fitness. My name's Adam, thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're discussing eccentric training. We're gonna try to get to the bottom of if it's better for hypertrophy or for strength, and we're gonna do that right now. Now, just so we're on the same page, a lift has two phases. It has a concentric portion of the lift, which is me raising the weight up here, and an eccentric portion, which is me lowering the weight like this. When we go through a movement like this and contract our muscles, there's a process that takes place, which is called the sliding filament theory. This is where actin and myosin create cross bridges, and it kind of looks like this here. In this example, my arms are myosin, grabbing onto the bar, which is actin, and multiple myosin heads will grab the actin and slide it along. Well, it turns out that we have greater amounts of cross bridges during the eccentric phase rather than the concentric phase. This is probably why we're able to have a greater amount of force production during the eccentric lift as well. So the big question here is if we focus on just the eccentric portion of our lift versus a more traditional style lift, will we get bigger? Well, possibly. A 2017 systematic review and meta-analysis was able to find some improvements for hypertrophy, but the researchers stated that eccentric muscle actions resulted in a greater effect size compared with concentric actions, but the result did not rise to a statistical significance. So it does sound like there are some benefits, but it might not be as big of a deal as you might think. Although I will say, I feel like people that work out, if you were told, hey, you can get a 2 to 4% increase in muscle size, they would be all about that. Research isn't always super clear. Sometimes we don't get an answer that's do this exercise 10 times and you'll be finished maximizing hypertrophy or strength. So I'm gonna give you some pointers on how you can implement this at the end, so stay tuned for that. Now let's take a look at strength. An additional systematic review from 2017 compared eccentric, concentric, and traditional sets and found that strength was greatest in the eccentric lifting, but in a largely mode-specific manner. Superior enhancements in power and the stretch shortening cycle function have been reported. Now, what is the stretch shortening cycle? As I go through a lift, when I start at the bottom right here without moving the weight, it's much more challenging than it is on the second rep. That second rep's much easier. Well, what happens is there's elasticity, and it's called elastic energy, that's built up in our tendons, and we get to slingshot just like a rubber band would at the bottom. Eccentric training aids in improving that stretch shortening cycle. And this is why in lifting competitions, you'll see people pause at the bottom of bench press. It's a way of dissipating that energy in that stretch shortening cycle and be more of a true testament to raw strength. Now, when I bring up concepts like this, people act like they want to abandon the way or methods they already train with, and that's not necessarily the case. Another good example of this is a lengthened partial. It's gotten a lot of popularity recently because it's shown to yield better hypertrophy results. But along with long length partials and eccentric training, we don't have to do everything in that manner. So I want to show you guys a few ways you can implement this and get those benefits from the eccentric portions of your lifts that you might be missing out on. For those who throw weights around just like this, it might be a better idea to control that eccentric lift for 2 to 4 seconds throughout your motion. Since you're going to get more muscle damage from it, you're going to get more hypertrophy from it and more strength. This is the same for if it comes to bicep curls. Focus on that control down. The same for squats and deadlifts as well. But what if I'm trying to load an exercise heavy? Well, this is where some body sway might actually be beneficial. If I load a side raise heavier than I traditionally would go, I can use my body momentum to lift up and slowly lower. Momentum up, slowly lower. So there's a few methods for this, and a way that I actually found from someone else's channel while researching some eccentric lifts is this here for leg extensions. So here's a method for leg extension you can try. Let me know in the comments how it goes. So right now I have a weight that's decent. It's not super heavy, but what I'll do is extend up with both legs, drop one leg out, and lower with just this one leg. Extend up with both, drop the other leg out, lower with just one leg. Sometimes loading eccentrically can be challenging if you don't have a partner to help out. You can explode through that concentric portion of the lift and then focus on that lowering phase. Although there's so many different exercises that it's challenging with, and this is where machines can be really helpful, or working out with a partner if you have that ability. That's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys found some help. If you guys are struggling with strength, this video right up here is all about strength. This video right down here, YouTube thinks is best for you. So I hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you guys in the next video.